Easter night. It's like 9 p.m. here, which means it's already the day after Easter in most places. Certainly on the mainland of the United States. I just had to check something on the ground over there. It looked like there was a pipe, and then I went over and I kicked it, and it was like made of bamboo. If it was a pipe, I would have taken it with me and disposed of it somewhere, because you can't leave something like that laying around here. There's a lot of water on the brain fucking dudes here walking around, and like children, they'll see something like that and they'll just pick it up and start menacing people with it, or at least walk around menacingly with it. Yeah, it's just what goes on. That's something we've always had, though. There's always just, every city, there's a certain amount of just street crazies that you have to deal with. And some are homeless, some aren't. The thing is, that when I say homeless people, I don't want to paint them all with the same brush, because they're not all the same. There are people that just ran out of checks, or their work screwed them over or something, and they find themselves in a scenario where they're without a home. Those are not the same as the guys that are out here like talking to themselves and throwing garbage at people. So to put them all in the same basket isn't I don't like to do that. I used to differentiate them by street mutants as the real bad ones, but other things to worry about here now. Those guys get bumped way lower on the list. My security system doesn't even pick them up. It wasn't designed for them. Prior to COVID, I didn't have the security system. There was no need. It was just fucking. I used to call it they used to call it Disneyland here when I first moved here. I tell me all the time. I don't know if you ever stayed at Disney World or Disneyland or whatever. More Disney World. Wherever you would stay. And I had rich parents, so I would go all the time. And when you were in the park or in the outer area near the park where you had timeshare somewhere, it was like you could walk around at any time of night and not to worry about anything, because it was like an artificial society. You weren't going to find some madman lurking around. It was the same way here. I'd go out at all hours of the night. When I first moved here, I couldn't really get the sleep thing down. Plus, I was quitting drugs at the time. The blues, the Percocets, I was quitting, and it was moving here saved my life in so many ways. It saved me life. It saved my life in so many ways, because it's a change of environment. All those triggers that existed back in New England were gone, Even when it comes to mental health, mental health problems that I have, a lot of it is triggered by behavior and area and certain people, and it was all gone. But so I wasn't having I was having a hard time sleeping. So I just, 4 in the morning, I'd get up and just go for a walk. I'd walk all the way down to Waikiki Village, which is way down here, at the end of Waikiki, and just walk around. There'd be dudes cleaning the outside of the hotels. The stuff you see them doing during the day when people are trying to walk by and they got fucking hoses and bullshit. They should do that at night when no one was around. I don't know what happened there, but they do it now, and they just they'll just put cones up on the sidewalk in no direction. All right, I guess, are we supposed to go into the street? I did that last week. I was showing them. I'm not going to go over it, but basically they shut down both sides of the street. So if you had to go to that area, you walked within these 2 lanes of traffic to walk. And this place is not good for, it's cars forbidding, let me try that again. Cars hitting civilians record is really bad. I'm not going to upset Dave by going into my experiences with it, but needless to say, I've been on the receiving end of it. But I survived. I pulled through, I'm here to walk and talk another day. This is pretty happening. It's almost like almost 10 o'clock, a little past 9. There's still people out and about. I guess it was jammed out here today. A lot of people around. Nia said her work was crazy, but I don't know. See how it is. We're gonna go to the mall just for change. Yeah, you should be really well, it was a low crime area. I don't want to get stuck into that again, because I'm gonna have a situation where I say, can I post that? You know, it's so good boy summer. It's so good white boy summer. I don't know, I think that's always gonna be the way with YouTube. I've got to do something else with that other channel though, other than a place to upload when I get banned, because that's all it is right now. It's just a place to upload during bans. I'm a frustrated music YouTuber though, so I should really. That's what I was trying to do over there initially. So maybe I'll do that. That's not your problem though. That's a problem that I'm having right now. So this tariff thing, right? That thing about Donald Trump. And I know fucking people already have their idea made up about him. And the other day I was saying this too. He's the perfect guy for this part of the plan, as his love-hate ratio is extreme on both sides. I got so many. That's the only OCD thing I still do. Yeah, where they have people that love him and hate him in equal measure. It's to divide. Because this is kill phase. You know, I've been saying that for a while. When it comes to population, when it comes to society, civilization, they're dumping this place. They've used it for what they wanted to use it for, and now they're pulling out. So this tariff thing might be the beginning of that, if it does indeed crash everything, which it looks like it might. You know, people are like, what's Trump doing now? That's his job. His job, whether he knows it or not, is to begin the process for the dismantling. And, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen then. Already, this is... Fucking, how's your voice? How's your talking today? It's never good, but just woke up a little while ago, so... And I really did. I'm not just saying that, like I always do when I can't talk. What's this little kiosk over here? Yeah, his job is to fuck everything up and to bring everything down. All presidents have a thing they have to do. You know, they're the mouthpiece. They're the mouth of Sauron, basically. And they're the ones that take the heat for all this stuff. All this stuff that's happening, people are like, oh, Trump, he's so bold. He's, you know, or the other side is always ruining fucking the world. These aren't his ideas. You know, these aren't his ideas. They might make him think they are, but they're not. I think he's a lot more clued into the process than that. He had a mentor that was with him his entire life. That kind of, I don't know if you want to use the word train, but he was a 33rd degree Mason. That kind of, not raised him, was like a nanny, you know, for lack of a better term there, what the hell it is. So he knows, he understands everything, you know. He's one of those people that like knows, you know. So he would know what his job is. Haven't been up here in a while. But yeah, so I mean, if it gets worse, I mean, it's supposed to get worse, you know. So pretty busy. We're heading down to Long's, which is a place I don't normally go to anymore. It's one of the old school Long's walks. I'm gonna cut it out while I get through these through this group of people. This is where the machine gun shootout was that night. Right here. right? And this crosswalk, they ran over there into that area there. And H&M's window was smashed out. I don't know if they replaced it yet. It was up for a while. They had a big piece of plywood there. Yeah, that would never happen prior to COVID. There was no gun battles in the streets back then. It's all planned. Like, oh yeah, it's still up. They still got the, I don't know if you can see it. Right there, I'll point it out on the camera. Yeah, it's still up there. They haven't fixed it yet. It's still there. I don't know why. Is it that hard? I guess it's that hard to get something like that replaced. It's a huge window. But I think I'm still like H&M, the kind of money. It's weird. I didn't expect to see it. I figured by now, I don't know, that's weird. I think stuff like that is strange. So much money, millions and millions of dollars come through here. You know, and they can't fix that. Whatever. Yeah, it's they want machine gun battles in the streets. It's what they want for every fucking city, you know, not just this one. But this one, you know, it's different here because of the controlled population, the controlled environment. They can do things easier here. A lot of times they do dry runs here for stuff they want to do on the mainland. Now there was, I don't know if I even want to get into it, but prior to COVID there was some stuff going on here with an illness that was going around that people were treating, which wasn't the COVID thing, but it was moving through the homeless population. And there were some people that were being treated, and the way they would treat them is they'd meet them in fucking parking lots. It was really weird. And they'd pull up in a car, and they'd come out with all this medical stuff, and they'd roll on. I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to cause panic, but I don't know, a lot of people see this stuff, but all it takes is the wrong set of eyes. It's not a thing that a lot of people know about. This is one of those things you just have to trust me, bro. And I couldn't help thinking at the time, like, it's almost like they're trying to see how containable it is, or they're doing some kind of test, you know. And there's like a lot of military off the books kind of projects here, from what I'm told. I don't know if that's because it's out of the purview of the United States, because it's way out here in the Pacific, but they're always doing weird tests and shit. You know, you got a military base right up here, you got one at you have Port Rusi's up here. Down here you have Pearl Harbor. So there's all sorts of weird stuff going on. A guy we knew that was military still, and he's in Germany now, but he was saying this is either the best place to live or the worst place to live as far as surviving under the thumb of whatever you want to call them, the so-called masters. That thing's cool. Big rabbit's still there, huh? I haven't been up here in a while because I got Target, so now whenever I need like stuff like that, I just go to Target. But yeah, I feel like I haven't been here in ages. Well, when you fucking walk the same area every day for years and years, a little change up field makes a big difference, or at least it feels different. I already did the coin in the water. I'll have to do it again. That's the only OCD thing I saw. Hang on a second. There we go, that's so better. It's the only OCD thing I still do. And the OCD part too is every time I throw a fucking coin in there, I have to mention that's the only OCD thing I still do. I used to be real bad, obsessive compulsive, turning off light switches 20 times, and you know, if I moved my foot over a fucking divider, I had to do it the right amount of times. And what it is you get this feeling like if I don't do this, if I don't do these arbitrary movements, even amount of time on both sides, something bad is going to happen. You don't know what it is, but it's like some force, something in the sky that's like gonna come down on you and do something. And that's just bullshit. It's not how anything works. You know, that was one of the things that returning back to the Lord awakened me to. A lot of those little bad habits, like about thinking the reality system works in a certain way, just went by the wayside when I realized that, oh, it can't work like that. You know, without getting too deep into why I came upon that conclusion, that might be too interesting. That's not how anything works. So today past couple of days, I've gotten up and like go to my phone, like a lot of us do, unfortunately, and I start looking for the boards, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're gone. They're gone. 'Cause that's where I get my news. I don't really post all that much, certainly not on Poll anymore, but it's the place where I'd get world events, because I knew whatever was important that was happening, they were going to be talking about it. So I'd always log on there just to get an idea of what was happening, what the important stuff was. Is that how you spell Mark? I don't know, I can't tell. I think it might be. Yeah, he travels around the world singing. I haven't seen him in a while though, so sometimes when you haven't seen people in a while, or at least with me, I don't know if you do this, is like I just don't feel like getting into the, hey, how you been? Where you been? So I don't. It's just like when you're in the mall and you see someone from like fucking high school. Well, that's, to me, I will look right through that person like they were a fucking ghost. That's a bad analogy, but like if you see an old neighbor or whatever the fuck, you know, somebody you haven't seen in a while. I just did that at Ross because I haven't been, not Ross, fucking Longs, because I don't go in that much anymore. So I had that fucking. People don't really care. Or maybe they do, I don't know. But they feel like obligated to ask you where you've been, because it's been, you know, when you go from going there twice a day to not at all, you know, people notice. I have friends there too. There are people that I like there too. But yeah, when you see somebody you haven't seen in a while, at least for me, I feel like I have to if I feel like I have to explain myself, sometimes I'll just try to avoid them. I'm like, I'll catch up with them later. Getting back on fucking train track number 1. Yeah, it's weird that it's gone. It's like it's, you know, it's the thing, like it had gotten so bad that it wasn't even really kind of something that was worth having anyway. Like I'd always think, like, if this has to go, it'll probably roll sooner or later. Who cares? Because it had become inundated with so many people that just were working for someone, were on the clock. Anytime anything good came up, it would be forced down or yanked down. Now, I guess the idea, I was saying the other day that a lot of the doxing stuff came out, and it was revealing that all the Jannies were actually glowies. I guess that's not true. From what, you know, I've seen since. Same thing with Israel being the main country where a lot of the posts and poll are coming from. Now, I don't know. Is that because the guy that I was talking about is like, it's disinformation that all the fucking hits were coming from Israel. It's like, well, are you giving disinformation to cover for Israel? Because, I mean, you know, a lot of fucking people do that too, you know, so, I mean, I don't know. It's like, do you believe this guy or do you believe that guy? You know, I don't know. But, yeah, the Jennies and the admins, I guess, had all their stuff leaked. Or at least they were making the forms were making the rounds on Twitter that alleged that they were the information. People saying, no, it's not real. And at the same time, they're trying to get them removed. So who the fuck knows? It doesn't matter. I'm not a doxer type of guy anyway. I don't really care. I mean, you know, they're talking about, because they're afraid of retaliation. Like, really? I think they never understood the kind of person that posts there. In their mind, they're thinking, these people don't want retaliation because they're crazy insults. No, that person, that crazy insult, is a character they invented themselves just to cope with the fact that people feel the way they do about this stuff. You know, the honest feedback from the civilian population, it was too much for these people to think, oh, they can't really feel this way. This has to be all neckbeards in their mother's basement. They're all incels. It's all they had, because it shattered their, you know, reality. You know, what do you mean? What do you mean diversity is not strength? They must be incels. It's like, no, the normal people think that's not good. Yeah, it's just proven it's not good. The fucking cake is on the table with that. Everybody can see at every city it is not good. But they, you know, they're working for the people that are doing it. In many cases, they are the people that are doing it, you know, especially with all the people from Israel. And we've seen pictures of their little, over in Israel, they have those, like, they look like giant call centers. And all they do is post on the internet, most of them 4chan, you know. And I don't know, like, for years they tried to get a hold of that, like try to kind of change people's minds, like talk them out of being the way they are. They were never able to do it. I mean, everything they tried didn't work. They were, you could see them from a mile away. You could see just how they posted the things they said. You alright, brother? You want a cigarette, buddy? Want a cigarette? You okay? You alright now? Cigarette? How's it going? Let me light it for you. Let me light it. How you doing? Want me to light it? Oh, you got it? Okay. How you doing? Alright? Good. Yeah, it's...
Oh, you're first.
Yeah, but that's how it is. It's how it is, man. You know, it's like... Yeah, man. Hey, have a good night, brother. God loves you, man. Just hang in there. Hang in there, because it's not all bad. He does. Jesus loves you, man. I couldn't make up heads or tails what he was saying, but I had to stop because I heard the voice, and it wasn't, I didn't get any demon pings from that. He just seemed like someone that was lost in his own head. But you gotta check. I'm the only one fucking checking out here that I know of, anyway. I know he's yelling. Huh. He was yelling before I got to him. I started talking to me, really quieted down. And then now he's yelling again. I don't know. What do you do? But yeah, you get the, when it's a demonic presence, you kind of get this, like, it's like a sense that you don't use. It's somewhere between a smell and a sound. Like, you know when you're around it. And like, I saw someone describe it really well one time, but I don't know. You get it. You feel you're in the presence of it, and it's not. To me, it's not anything frightening. It's like a disgust. It's like you know. It's like someone just fucking, like you just stepped in shit. You know. It's really hard to describe. I wasn't getting it back then. I don't get it a lot at all anymore. Anyway, it's weird. It's like all that kind of activity is really calmed down. At least from my perspective. Maybe I'm not catching it. Maybe it's avoiding me. I don't know. But I still come out and try. One thing I noticed that some of the new residents are having trouble with, and have had trouble with, is there's no nightlife here. It's geared more toward families, like, you know, hotel shows and stuff, and restaurants and things like that. There's lounges that are around, but there's no, like, you don't hear like DJ Two Dicks tonight at the 7th Bar. You know, there's no the club. So I just came by a group of women who were like trying to find this place, like this lounge that's up over near. Yeah, they get wandering out like all looking for the club, which might not be a bad idea to make a place like that, so you can keep all the violence and gun violence and nonsense to one area instead of all spread around. Because there is nothing like that. Like every city has a, you know, a thing like that with some ridiculous fucking, you know, ladies' night. with fucking giant like metal detectors out front. Yeah, I don't have that here. So yeah, so a lot of times at night you see people walk around like all dressed up looking for like a place to go, but there's nowhere to go, which isn't good, because then people end up like just doing loitering around the street and then causing trouble there. It's like I said, it's better almost to give them a spot to go to. Kind of reminds me of 4chan. Someone lamented the closing of it, saying it's a bad thing because it's emptying the sewer into the rest of the internet. And I think that happened a long time ago. I think anyone that had anything interesting to say, it's kind of moved on from there a long time ago. You know, there is nothing there anymore. It's over, Johnny. But yeah, they've already kind of moved into other places. Like, you can go on Twitter and say anything you want these days. People drop the N-bomb there all the time. And again, not like that's like something good to do, but it's a good indicator of how much free speech is tolerated. You know, you can say almost anything. I see people posting memes and stuff that you would usually see on the boards. I'm one of those people. The thing with me that's different is I have my whole my profile isn't like an anime picture. You know, it's an actual person. So, but it hasn't changed how I post. I talk about the same things. I post the same memes because I've been on the internet since '95, and I've always had the idea in my head that it doesn't matter what you're putting on there, someone somewhere is seeing, so just act accordingly, don't get too crazy. So it hasn't really changed much for me. But I don't know, I guess there is some validity to releasing the sewer into the rest of the internet. You know, we people always said that back when it was like a really potent place. I mean, any memes or I guess just general internet culture comes from that place. It all comes from there, and it works its way up into like Facebook or Reddit or Twitter. But all the good shit comes from there. Like everything you see that's related to like trolling or a funny meme or anything, that shit ain't coming from Reddit. That's not coming from Reddit. It used to come from 4chan. So I don't know. It's just weird, like, because the past couple of days, waking up and going to check for news and be like, oh yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it's coming back either. I think that's kind of it. It would take too much to bring it back, and if it did come back, it would be rebuilt so that it would be. I mean, if you thought it was a glow-end area now, I mean it would be designed for them to access. You know, I mean, that's how. I was there really in the best time, you know, so whatever. I don't really have a malaphorism for it. But I'm almost back at the house, so I'm going to wrap this shit up. Shit. And thanks for dropping in, as always. Nice to see you. And until next we meet, don't blame the teacher, blame the school.